Hey, Bud. Hey, Allie. It's so good to see you both.
Ooh, you have your fly eyeglasses on again. I hope that means we'll be learning more about insects.
You're right, Bud. We will. And we're going to read another great book about them.
Hey, everyone.
Hi, Miss Sandy.
Leanne, I see you have your special glasses on again today. That's perfect because today we're going to learn more about insect body parts.
Insect body parts? How can we even see them? Insects are so tiny.
You're right, Allie. Insects are pretty tiny, which actually has a lot to do with our first new vocabulary word. That word is microscopic. Can you say that word?
Microscopic.
Great job. This is a really big word, but if we look at it in parts, it will help us to read the word and it will help us to understand its meaning. Micro means small, and scopic has to do with looking at something. So microscopic means,
I know. It must be something that's so small it can only be seen through a microscope.
that's right, Allie. You are using word parts to help you understand new words. Can you think of a motion to help us remember that word?
How about we act like we're putting a microscope up to our eyes so we can see something up close?
You mean like this?
Yes.
Great idea. Okay, boys and girls at home, are you ready to try that with us? Great. On the count of 3, let's try it as we say the word microscopic. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Microscopic. That's fantastic. Let's look at our next word. This word is head.
That's easy. We all have a head. It's on top of our shoulders. And in Spanish, we call it a cabeza.
You're right, Bud. Great job. And yes, you're right. Our head is a part of the human body that insects also have. I have an idea. Why don't we point at our head while we say the word head, just so we remember that we're talking about this body part in our lesson. Hey, you all want to join with the friends at home? Friends at home, let's do it together. Ready? Go! Head.
Now, let's take a look at the next body part. We each have one of these too. It's our mouth.
We eat and talk with our mouths.
In Spanish, we call it a boca. You two are so smart. Let's say that word together while we point to our mouth with the boys and girls at home. Are you ready, everyone? Great. Let's try it. Ready? Go.
Mouth. Great job. Our next word, it's a little different. Insects have these, but we humans do not. The word for this insect body part is antennae. So sometimes you might hear people call them antenna or antennae, but the right way to say it is antennae. Can you all say that word with us, friends at home? Antennae.
Antennae.
Great, let's do it together. Ready? Go. Antennae. Great job.
Are those the things that stick out of the insect's head?
That's right, Bud. Antennae help insects smell and make sense of the world around them. Hey, do you know the Spanish word for antennae?
No, I don't think so.
I'll give you a hint. It's a cognate.
Well, I remember that cognates are words that sound alike and they mean the same in 2 languages, So it must be antenna?
You've got it, bud. Can you think of a gesture we could use to help us remember what an antennae is?
Well, we could just make our fingers look like antennas on top of our head.
Like this?
Yes.
Perfect, bud. Let's try it, friends at home. Ready, everyone? Go. Antennae.
I love that gesture. It's really going to help me to remember the meaning of the word. Now, let's look at the next body part. It's the thorax. Can you say that word with the boys and girls at home?
Thorax.
That's great. Have either of you heard of this word before?
No, I don't think so.
Me either. Well, the thorax is the middle body part of an insect. And guess what? It's a Spanish cognate too. In Spanish, we say el thorax. The thorax is the body part that is just below the insect's head. Let's use a motion to help us remember this word. Where on our body would be just below our head?
I know, our shoulders and chest.
That's good, Allie. How about if we pat our shoulders and chest to help us remember where the thorax is? Everybody at home, are you ready to try it with us? Okay, let's try it. Ready? Go.
Thorax. I love it. Our next word is another insect body part. It's called the abdomen. Let's break this word into syllables to make it easier to say. Listen. Abdomen. Can you say those syllables with me? Abdomen. Great. Now let's say them together smoothly as one word. Ready? Abdomen. Abdomen. Great job. What motion do you think we could use to remember that the abdomen is below the shoulder and chest area?
Oh, I have an idea. Let's point to our stomachs since they are below our shoulders and chest on our bodies.
That's a great idea, bud. Let's try it so the friends at home can see it and do it themselves. Ready? Abdomen.
Abdomen.
Friends at home, can you join us? Ready? Go. Abdomen. Good job.
Great, everyone. Now we're ready for our next word, which is a really big word.
Are we going to break it into word parts?
That's a great idea, Allie. We're going to break this word into syllables or word parts. The word is exoskeleton. Now, let's break that up into syllables since it's so long. Exoskeleton. You try it.
Exoskeleton.
Great job. Now, let's try that together as one big word. Ready, everyone at home? Let's try it. Go.
Exoskeleton.
That's a big word. What does it mean?
That's a great question, bud. The exoskeleton is the hard outer covering that protects the inside of an insect.
Ooh, that must be why they crunch when you step on them.
Oh, bud, that's so gross. But you're right. The word also has roots that help us remember the meaning. Exo means out, and skeleton means, hey, I know. We have a skeleton inside our bodies. Our skeleton is our bones. That's right, Allie. Now, since an insect's exoskeleton is the hard outer skeleton, what if we knock on something really hard to remember that word, like this, exoskeleton. Can we do that together and say the word? Boys and girls at home, why don't you join us as we practice? Ready? Go. Exoskeleton. Good job.
Okay, so our last three words today are the names of different types of insects. And the first one is a cockroach.
Ew! I don't like roaches.
Allie, I noticed that you called it a roach. Lots of us use that word instead of the full word cockroach, but they both refer to the same insect. Oh, I know that word in Spanish. It's cucaracha.
La cucaracha, la cucaracha. Ya no puede caminar.
Leanne, you are so funny. I was thinking that since cockroaches run so fast, we could all run in place really fast as a way to remember the word. Do you want to try it together?
Let's do it.
Girls and boys at home, try it with us. Ready? Go.
Cockroach. The next word we will learn is caterpillar. Let's say this word in its syllables. Listen carefully. Cat-er-pill-ler. Now say it with me in syllables. Ready? Go. Caterpillar. Great. Now let's put it together and say the whole word. Listen. Caterpillar. Go. Caterpillar.
It looks like a fuzzy worm.
It does, bud. But there is something very special about caterpillars. Did you know that they can turn into butterflies or moths when they grow up? Hey, bud, you might have heard your abuela call them orugas.
Yes, I have heard that word.
Yes, and they wiggle around as they move on the ground. Hey, Allie, that's right. And that gives me an idea for a gesture we can use to remember the word caterpillar. Why don't we use our hands to make a wiggle motion as we say the word caterpillar? Everyone at home, can you try it with us? Ready? Go. Caterpillar. Great job.
That was a fun one. Now let's try our last word. It is a cricket. Can you say that word with the boys and girls at home?
Cricket.
Terrific. Whenever I see them, they hop away from me.
Crickets are black and they make a loud chirping sound.
That's right, Allie and Bud. Crickets do hop and they make loud chirping sounds by rubbing their legs together. And most of the ones that we see in Mississippi are black. The one in this picture is a tan color. So that we can remember that crickets are insects that make the chirping sound, why don't we rub our hands together the way crickets rub their legs together as we say the word? Do you want to try it? Boys and girls at home, try it with us. Ready? Cricket. Great job.
Miss Sandy and Miss Leanne, can we do another book walk? I really liked our last one, and it really helped me to concentrate when we listened to our MPB classroom TV teachers read the book. Well, that's a great idea, Allie. Here, let's start by taking a look at the cover of the book.
The cover looks the same as the last book, but the title is different. That's right, Bud. Sometimes when books are in a series or are connected in some way, they'll have the same or a similar cover. When we do our book walk today, let's really concentrate on trying to use the new vocabulary the way we did last time to help us figure out how this book will be different than the last one.
Well, we can already tell one way they are different. Look, the titles are different.
That's correct, Allie. The title of this book is What Makes an Insect an Insect? So we'll really learn some great facts about what it is that is the same about all the animals that we call insects.
Let's turn the page. Oh, look! The first page is a cartoon again. But in the last book, there was a cartoon fly on the first page. He was the one talking to us in the story.
You have a great memory, Allie. This book is a nonfiction or an informational book. Why do you think they made this page with the cartoon cockroach? I bet it's because bugs, I mean insects, can really talk. And they wanted us to know that this part could not really happen.
That's some really good thinking, Bud. I bet you're right. While the information in this book will tell us true facts about insects, flies and cockroaches, they don't really talk. So the authors and illustrators wanted to show us that by using a cartoon picture. Here, let's take a look at the next picture.
It's two different insects, a fly and a cockroach.
Right. In this book, they will teach us about how insects might look differently, but they're actually alike in many ways. Even though insects can look very differently, there are some very special things that are the same and make them insects. Those small ones are so tiny. Oh, this must be where they teach us more about microscopic insects.
I just love how you remembered that long word, Allie. That's just fantastic. I like doing these book walks. When we learn the new words and see the pictures, it really helps me to understand the story better.
That's great, Bud. Hey, let's take a look at the next picture and try to figure out what this page might teach us about.
Those are our new vocabulary words. I can tell this will be all about the three body parts, the head, the thorax, and the abdomen.
That's right, Bud. And I really love the way that you sounded out the word abdomen using the syllables. Let's take a look at the next 3 pages. Well, this first one is a bunch of insect heads, and it shows their eyes and their mouth on the next pictures.
I bet they're going to teach us more about how insects use their mouths and their eyes.
That's a good guess, Bud. I think they will also teach us how insects use these body parts to make sense of the world around them.
Can you tell me something that is the same for each of these 3 insects?
Well, you can't see the legs on the butterfly like you can on the other 2 bugs, but oh, they all have those things sticking out the top of their heads.
That's right, Allie. Do you remember what those are called?
I don't remember the word, but I remember the gesture. Yes, that was it, Miss Sandy.
I remember antennae. That's right. I like the way that you both work together to figure it out. In this section, they'll teach us about how those antennae are helpful to insects. Hey, there's another one of our new words, thorax.
You remembered the word. Fantastic. I'm sure, Bud, that you're going to be really fascinated by a pretty cool fact we learned about insects' hearing on this page.
Oh, I can't wait.
Okay, what do you notice on these 2 pages?
Legs.
Legs!
You got it. Notice how all these insects have legs, yet they're all a little bit different? We'll learn why they're different and how that helps insects. There's a dragonfly. Allie, I never noticed all those lines before. That's right, Bud. Those lines are veins, and they help support the wings. You can see on this next page that these crickets also have veins on their wings. So even though the insects look very different, they all have characteristics that are the same. These are the things that make them insects.
There's one more thing that makes an insect an insect. Can you tell me what that might be from this picture of the book? I remember. That's the exoskeleton.
Yes, it's the hard outside that protects the inside of the insect.
You two are so smart. And you've done such a great job connecting your vocabulary words while we do this book walk.
Wow, we are learning so much about insects. I can't wait for our next lesson. I'm so glad that you both are enjoying these books. Content for the Bud and Allie Show was created using content from Core Knowledge Language Arts second grade units on insects. We thank Core Knowledge for publicly sharing these materials. I hope all the boys and girls will join us next time for the Bud and Allie Show when we'll learn about geology, which is all about our planet Earth.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Stay tuned to watch another lesson from your MPB Classroom TV teachers on insects. See you next time.
Bye.